it really doesn't make sense to heal the body without healing the mind. Hi, I'm Farah of Tibetan Healing Movement. I love so much how Tibetan medicine and Tibetan Buddhism work together, that the medical side is healing for the body, but the Buddhist side is medicine and healing for the mind. And we really need both, right? I mean, of course, the deep interconnectedness of body and mind means that, what improvements you make on one will have a positive effect on the other, but that can only go so far. So, for example, in Tibetan medicine, which is a very grounded science, it's very much, physiological and material and diagnostic, but Tibetan medicine ultimately gets to the point where it says these certain substances, these energetic qualities or bioenergetic substances called the humors, which are responsible for all physiological functioning, and their balance in the body is what cultivates health. But ultimately, they get thrown out of balance with negative emotions. So no matter what good things you're doing for the body in terms of your diet and herbs and movement, if you're still continuously having those negative emotions, you're just going to keep throwing the body off and keep throwing the body off. So therefore, we also need a medicine for the mind. And this is Buddhism. So Buddhism is all about studying the nature of mind, and it helps us heal a fundamental sickness. So the fundamental sickness of the mind is ignorance. And the grand ignorance that we have is this feeling or thinking that we're separate, right? That's a huge ignorance. Everything is completely interconnected. There is no separate, solid self. But we don't quite get that. So we end up protecting this self and doing things to defend the self and uphold the self. And we call that self-grasping. And that's the root of so much mental suffering. So Buddhism and all its methods are really about helping us to have realizations to reduce this fundamental ignorance of self-grasping. Now, ultimately, if one becomes enlightened and fully realizes their Buddha nature, then this comes with perfect health because they go together. But we can't really have perfect health until we're enlightened. But what we can do is we can improve our health. We can be more resilient. We can recover faster if we do get disease because we do live in this conditional world. But Tibetan medicine, again, says that the cause of disease comes from inside those negative emotions. Now, the conditions that create the disease, they can come from outside. That's the weather, that's the food that we eat, those such things. So, but ultimately the cause comes from inside. So, in a really short way, we could say that we want open body and calm mind. So what is healing for the body? The body wants to release tension, release blocks, be in a relaxed, open state. Now, when we have blocks, that means blood's not flowing, nutrients aren't getting where they need to go, oxygen isn't helping the cells, things aren't being wastes not removed properly. So it sounds simplistic, but it really covers all the bases, that the more we have tension, the more we have blocks, the more we have imbalance, the more we have disease. So the medicine there is to do things to open the body, to release the blocks so that everything's flowing nice and harmoniously. Now for the mind, the medicine there is also open mind. We want to have a relaxed, spacious mind. That's more of its natural state. This constant thinking and pressure and stress and burnout and go, go, go. That's not the natural state of the mind. Unfortunately, most of us hang out there most of the time, and this is how we become more stressed, more tense, more negative emotions. So in a very simple way, we could say the medicine for the mind is to create more openness or spaciousness between our thoughts, even, we could say. And also, I need to toss in open-heartedness here, because the mind, in Buddhism, when we talk about mind, it's very much also about heart. So having an open heart means being more accepting, being more loving, right? So all of these things work together. Open body, open mind, open heart. Now here's where practices, so I teach practices from the Tantric Yogic tradition. And this is a beautiful border where we're working with the body. So we are using the body as a vehicle on the spiritual path to have a more spacious, open, clear light mind. So for example, I teach Lujong. And Lujong is definitely rooted in principles of Tibetan medicine. The movements are very much targeting particular places on the body that become blocked. And we massage through the movements and the breathing, we massage these points open. So this helps us bring more nutrients to the vital organs. This helps lubricate our joints, particularly taking care of the spine and its mobility. Very practical, very medically based. But there's something else happening at the same time. Because of the combination of the slow breathing pattern, it really helps us drop into this relaxed state. And additionally, we're also balancing these energetic qualities in the body, which we could again use the term the three humors, but these are based on the energy of the five elements. But the movements are very much balancing these energies in the body. And this is having a corresponding effect on the mind, right? We balance those humors, and we're also balancing those negative emotions that go with them, the anger, the attachment, the closed-mindedness. And we're not just moving and breathing, but we're really in this present moment awareness. And what naturally happens without any forcing at all is that our mind calms down. We find there's more and more space between the thoughts. Things just get more peaceful. It's like the choppy ocean just starts to settle into a calm sea. And so at the end of the practice, we take advantage of these conditions that we've created, and we rest for a few moments in this natural mind state. And this is where we can really tap into that inner master, or that wisdom that we all have access to inside of us. We just need to have the calmness and the spaciousness to tap into it. So that's just some considerations, some reflections on this beautiful relationship between Tibetan medicine, which is healing the body, and combining that with Tibetan Buddhism, which is healing for the mind. And so remember, it really comes down to openness. And openness and fluidity in the body is going to keep us more young and vibrant with more energy and vitality. And an openness and fluidity in the mind is going to help us not have these rigid concepts and conditions and wants and not wants. And this helps us kind of flow through life in this more loving, peaceful, compassionate state. So, my friends, here is to your openness in body and mind and heart. And I welcome you to learn more and experience some of the things I'm talking about. Particularly, I mentioned Lujong, which is a series of 21 movements. And I'd love to share those with you. So, all right, let me know your thoughts on all of this and how you're combining healing of the body and healing of the mind. So thank you so much for your time and attention, most valuable resource. I hope you found some benefit.